Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Alex, and I am live this morning in the studio. So make sure you are liking this video and getting involved in the comments, asking your questions, getting involved all morning. We've got loads to get through. And as you can see behind me, we're going to be talking a lot about Ten Hag's transfer overhaul, his targets, and everything involved around what Manchester United are going to do this summer in the transfer window once we get Ten Hag over the line. There are two really good articles this morning that we're going to go through, mainly one from The Athletic, from Laurie Whitwell, and one from the Daily Mail that talks. These quotes have been pulled out all last night on Twitter and all this kind of stuff, and there's some really interesting stuff in there, so we're going to get involved in that. But to start with, we're going to look at The Athletic article and this overhaul that is being planned at Manchester United. Now, Laurie Whitwell writes all about the players that are expected to leave this summer for Manchester United. Now, we're looking at Ten Hag is over to see a tumultuous first summer in charge at Manchester United, and the players he's going to look at leaving. You've got Paul Pogba definitely out the door, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata, and Edison Cavani, all running out of contract. Now, Edison Cavani as well, there's been a tweet this morning from Fabrizio Romano saying that even Ten Hag coming in will not change Edison Cavani, and he is out of contract, and he will definitely be leaving this summer, and he's planning on going to La Liga. So those players all looking at leaving. You've also got the other couple that are looking at moves. You've got Anthony Martial, who's looking for a move apparently, Dean Henderson, and then you're looking at Erik, Phil Jones, and maybe even Nemanja Matic. Now, that is a lot of very, very, very big and experienced players that might be leaving Manchester United this summer. And that's before we get to the likes of the players that a lot of people are tweeting that want to leave the football club. They want to overhaul the likes of, maybe they don't want Aaron Wan-Bissaka in there. You know, people have been questioning Harry Maguire and whether we need to replace him. Before that, we've got to replace all these players. Now, in that article as well, he speaks a little bit all about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's time at Manchester United and his kind of not wanting to move players on because he was worried about not getting those replacements in. And this is the whole thing about Ten Hag. I'm sure we're all excited to see Ten Hag coming in, all excited to see what he can do, but it's what he can do in the transfer market and what's actually going to happen that is the bit of a worry. Is he going to get the players in that he wants after he maybe lets some go? And in this article, he talks a little bit about the first summer that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had, getting rid of the likes of Romelu Lukaku, getting rid of the likes of Fellaini from the January, getting rid of Alexis Sanchez, and not really bringing in any forward players until Bruno Fernandes came in the January. And that later on meant that he was a little bit tentative. He didn't let Anthony Martial go this summer. He didn't let Jesse Lingard go this summer. And that was mainly because he was worried about who was going to be able to come in and replace them and whether he was going to do that. And that's going to be the big challenge for Ten Hag this summer. And that's the other thing that he then goes on to, Laurie Whitwell, this morning. There's £750,000 per week spare in wages going out. So that will maybe mean the likes of the players coming in. And one of the players that Laurie Whitwell mentions is Darwin Nunez from Benfica. Now, we've done a scout report on him over on the channel, so if you've not checked that out after this video, once you finish watching this video, go and check that out. It was a really good report on Darwin Nunez. He scored another goal last night in the Champions League as Benfica got knocked out by Liverpool. He looks like one of the names that Manchester United are linked with and who they're going to get in this summer. And also in this article, he talks about the positions that Manchester United are going to be looking at strengthening. Darwin Nunez is a striker. Striker is definitely one of the positions. 2 central midfielders and a right winger, right midfielder. I did think that was going to be Jadon Sancho, but it's looking like we do need to get another right-sided player in. There's also loads of different rumours. We'll move on now to this article in the Daily Mail. Now, the Daily Mail has spoken all about the potential midfielders that are coming in. Now, in the Athletic article, it says with United, you'll look at 2 midfielders this summer. That, for me, is a big ask. To get 2 over the line, especially with some of the names that have been linked, is a big ask. And in this article, they say about Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips, Ruben Neves, Basuma, Milinkovic-Savic, and Tchouaméni. For me, those are the names that have been linked for the past, ever since I've been doing this stuff. I've been doing this for a couple of years now with Stretford Paddock, and those have been the names all the way through. Calvin Phillips, maybe a bit of a new one, but those are the ones the last couple of years that we have been talking about. The bit of a worry about all this, especially then, this is what Laurie Whitwell's wrote about, is that Is it going to be Ten Hag's targets coming in? Is he going to get those right players coming in? And it looks like to me that these targets are already defined. These are already sorted out. This isn't going to be new targets that Erik Ten Hag kind of, puts forward. This is going to be who the club have wanted. Now, those players are very, very good footballers. And I think if we could get two of those players in, really any of those two players in, I think Manchester United would dramatically improve their midfield options going into next year. But you look at how much those players are going to cost. You've got Declan Rice, who's been rumoured to be £100 million. You've got Calvin Phillips. I'm not sure Leeds will let him go for anything less than £40-50 million. Neves, the same kind of bracket. And the other players are all going to be £40-50 million players. Now, later on in that article, they write that if Manchester United fail to qualify for the Champions League this summer, there's been agents that have been told that the club's budget could be as low as £20 million. Now, I don't quite know what you get on £20 million. Let me know some players that we can get for £20 million, considering, United have been rumoured to need 4 positions, 4 starters for Manchester United. What players are those we're going to get? What are we going to get on £20 million? And if that is the case, who's going out? Who's going to be the outgoing to make sure it's £20 million? Who's going to be doing that? Who do we think goes out the door? We talked there about Dean Henderson and Martial potentially looking at moves out there. But you look at that and you go, what are we going to get for them? We're going to get 50 million between them. Is that really what we're going to get? Are we going to get any more than that? If we do that, how much are we really going to get in? Maybe we get £60 million for those 2 players. That means 80. That could be Declan Rice. Not even Declan Rice, that. It's going to be a big summer for Manchester United and how they kind of plan things. There's obviously, mentioned before, the big names going out the door. But it's who we bring in and it's whether it's the right thing. Like in the comment there. Make sure you are liking this video. I'm going to go through a couple more of your comments this morning. Mike Anson said, Phillips has never come to United. He has said that publicly. There's a lot of players said they're not coming to Manchester United. There's a lot of people that say, I'm a boyhood fan of here, and here. Jordan Henderson was a boyhood Manchester United fan as captain Liverpool. Things change when the right offer gets put on the table. I wouldn't be too worried about that. My only worry with Calvin Phillips is potentially his injuries this season. Has he kind of lost that step? I think he's a very, very good footballer. He proved that at the Euros for England. Whether he can build off that after that injury, who really knows? We've got Santa Notch in the comments saying Tchouameni would be also a very good option. Definitely. These are the kind of players. Now, for me, I've always thought Declan Rice is the best player out there at the minute that United will need. But if we only get one, I don't think we can't just get one player. We need a couple. And if that means that we lose out on Declan Rice and get 2 of the players, that would be a big thing for me. What's the stance on Pogba? Is he definitely leaving? Now, there's been stuff all week about this, about Paul Pogba. There was the rumours about him being set to go to PSG. It's not really looking like he's going to Real Madrid. That was rumoured all the way through. They're through now to the semi-finals. Their midfield, whether they look at him as a replacement for the likes of Kroos and Modric, I'm just not too sure. But this is the thing, is that where does he go? Who's going to take him? PSG looks like the likely destination. Look, people saying, is he going to get him? Are we going to keep Paul Pogba at Manchester United Football Club? I think he'd have signed a contract by now. And people saying he's waiting for a new manager, he's doing all this. He's been offered a lot of money to stay at Manchester United Football Club. I really think that if he was going to stay, it'd have already been done. It would already have been announced. But it is looking like Paul Pogba would go and kind of end this merry-go-round we've had. You can doubt how good he's actually been at Manchester United. You can question. He's been injured a lot. He has been injured a lot, and he hasn't really lived up to it. And I think that a lot of Manchester United fans, whether you like Paul Pogba, you dislike Paul Pogba, are just a little bit sick of this. Will he, won't he stay at Manchester United Football Club? And I think now is the time to move on. TC said in the comments, buy a DM now and wait for Bellingham next season. That's a great. I'd love to see Bellingham at Manchester United, but again, you look at that DM option. Is it Declan Rice? That's going to cost us £100 million. Is it going to be? You then look at Bellingham. He's going to be another one of those. United need a lot of footballers. United, you look at what Jurgen Klopp's done, where he's not spent that much money. He's signed 30 footballers for Liverpool, and some of them have worked, some of them haven't. But he's got 15, 16 players that he's brought in and are still in and around that squad. We need to get bargains. We need to get a lot of players in. We can't just get that. There's a lot of people talking about Fred in the comments. I think Fred's kind of earned his way into that team. I think that the one kind of shining light in all of this stuff, and especially how he played football with Ralph Rangnick, is that I think we've found out where Fred needs to be playing and how he's going to play. I think he's been the most consistent performer under Rangnick, and I'd like to see him stay. And I think him playing in that slightly further forward position, look, we might need to get better players in there, and we definitely need to have another option better than Fred. But I do think he can do a job. He can see he's done that for Brazil. I'd definitely keep Fred around in the summer. Let's have a look more at your comments this morning. With hindsight, I wish we sold Paul Pogba after the Europa League win. It's a long time ago, that. Maybe the last summer was the time to let go of him when we could have maybe got a bit more cash and a little bit more. But, you know, that's gone now. He's going to run out his contract, as a few other players. We're going to recap that a little bit. We're going to look at Erik ten Hag. Like I said, he is looking at moving on. These players will be moving on from the summer. You've got Paul Pogba leaving, Jesse Lingard leaving, Juan Mata and Cavani. There's also the likes of Martial, Dean Henderson, Eric Bailly, Phil Jones and Nemanja Matic that might be leaving the football club this summer. Some of them are into the last year of the contract. I've said some of them expiring, and then it's what's next from there. Wrote this morning in the Athletic, we are potentially looking, and talks are expected to start over Benfica's Darwin Nunez, who, like we've seen last night, fantastic football, fantastic goal scorer. But this is the next question, is does Erik ten Hag want Darwin Nunez? Does he want Declan Rice? Who are the players that Erik ten Hag is going to want at Manchester United Football Club? Let's have a quick look at your comments. People saying about we need elite fullbacks. We're not going to sign 8 players this summer. This is the worry about Manchester United Football Club. There are so many places that you can say, we need to strengthen here, we need to strengthen here. Where are these players going to come from? Where are going to be the priorities? Get in the comments, let us know your priorities. You think the priorities, right back, centre back and defensive midfielder. Do we need it? But we need a striker, don't we? We've only got, realistically, going into the next season, we only have Cristiano Ronaldo at the football club. Maybe Anthony Martial comes back. We need a striker. We need a striker into it. So that's it. Nunez doesn't fit what Ten Hag wants in. That's from Sunstrider this morning, in a striker. This is the thing. Darwin Nunez, has he been on the list for a long, long time? Is he going to be that player? Is he going to be the player for Manchester United Football Club? Who really knows, and who is going to come in? Get in the comments and let us know. Going to get to a couple more of your comments this morning, and then that is going to be that. We've got a lot coming up on the channel today. We've got Kane, let's go low 20s and not late 20s. Bring back Diallo, Palestri, and get Anthony Rudiger, Anthony and Rudiger, and a striker under 25. That'd be a good summer. But again, no midfielder in there. We need to kind of look at that. Can we get a midfielder in this summer? Loads of people saying centre back, loads of people saying striker, CDM, loads of different things to get on. Make sure you are liking this video and you are subscribing to Stretford Paddock. We've got some great stuff coming up. We'll obviously have the build-up. Manchester United are back playing football this weekend. I think I'd got over it, the fact that we hadn't been for a while. United are back playing Norwich, so we will have the preview to the Norwich game coming up very, very shortly. We've also got a great interview coming out, new interview coming out on the channel with Alexis and Kirsty Shelts. I won't be telling you the guests, but make sure you subscribe, and that is going to be a fantastic show. And we'll have the usual. You'll have Howson back here for the brew tomorrow, the usual stuff. There'll be someone back here tomorrow morning doing the news in the morning. But if you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go and check out paddockmerch.com to get your Alanga mugs and all that stuff. And like it's been said in the comments there, smash that like button. That is all from me this morning. I have been Alex, and I will see you in the next one. Laters.